Hi everyone, welcome to Profitable Advisor. If this is your first time to visit my channel, please watch the entire video. If you like the video, please give a like, share and subscribe to Profitable Advisor. In this video, I'll give you an overview of robot framework and its related aspects. Let's jump into the today's agenda. I will discuss these 5 points in this video as part of the robot framework introduction. The first point is what is robot framework and the history of the robot framework, followed by robot framework architecture and why do we need robot framework, and also use of the robot framework. What is robot framework? Robot framework is a generic test automation framework for acceptance testing and acceptance test driven development. Yes, it is a generic test automation framework. It supports both web and mobile based application automation, and it is a keyword driven testing framework and that uses the tabular test data syntax. Key points. We have seen these 3 points in our previous slides: acceptance test driven development and keyword driven testing and tabular test data syntax. We will go with these 3 points individually for the upcoming slides and we will discuss more about these 3 points. Acceptance test driven development, ATDD. ATDD is a development methodology based on the communication between the business customers, the developers, and the testers. Firstly, it is discussed what is required by the end users. Then the user stories are created with those acceptance criteria. And the developers first write the tests for those acceptance criteria. Then developers writes the code to make the test is pass. If the test is fail, he refactors the code until the test is pass. That is what happening in this diagram. If you see this diagram, select the user story, write the acceptance test, implement the user story, run the acceptance test, and refactor, get sign off. Keyword driven testing. Sorry, I'll say action word based testing. Oh, I'll say action driven testing. Okay, stop. Are you discussing about keyword driven testing or action word based testing or action driven testing? Don't get confused. All these 3 things are doing same. It means keyword driven testing has multiple names. One is for the action word based testing and another one is for the action driven testing. Basically, it is a software testing methodology and it's suitable for both manual and automation testing. If you observe this word, action word based testing, it means the word itself describes what actions we are doing. If you see the test case here in the below diagram, I have mentioned total 4 keywords inside this test case. One of the keyword is create user. By reading this line, we can easily say that yes, we are creating the user here. And if you see the steps inside this create user, launch the browser and open the dashboard, click on the end user button, enter username and password, thereafter click on confirm button. See? So by seeing this word, we can easily say that this is the action keyword and we are doing the action here, that is to create the user. Then in the right side, if you see the libraries, I have added few libraries here. I mentioned only few here. It means there are many libraries in robot framework which is coming automatically by using robot framework. You don't have to design or re-implement for these libraries. These libraries are predefined or built-in libraries, I mean to say. So if you see the launch browser, to launch the browser, you need a keyword. To verify whether the dashboard screen is presented, to verify that, you need a keyword. And to perform the click action, or else to enter some username or password, to click on the confirm button, you need some keywords. That keywords are coming from these libraries. Basically, this entire thing is happening in the keyword driven testing. Tabular test data syntax. Robot framework test data is defined in tabular format using either hypertext markup language, that is HTML, tab separated values, that is a TSV, plain text formats. But this HTML format and the tab separated values TSV are deprecated in the robot framework. But we will see in the upcoming slides what exactly HTML format and why it is deprecated. And also we will see what is TSV along with the plain text format. HTML format. If you see the below diagram, data was categorized into total 4 tables. The first table is for the settings table. Into the settings table, we can declare all the libraries. If you see here in this diagram, I have added operating system library. If you want, you can add your own library here. Also, we can declare resources here into the settings section. If you want to declare the variables, you can add those variables into the variable section. And the test cases and keywords will be added into the keywords and test cases tables. If you want to edit this test data, you can use any graphical editor. Also, you can use a default editor for the robot framework, that is for the write. TSV, tab separated values. If you see this diagram, this is also similar to the HTML tabular format. The data was categorized into the 4 tables. But we can add these TSV tables by using Microsoft Excel. After writing all these tables into the Microsoft Excel, make sure you have to save that file into .tsv. Compared to HTML format, TSV is better and we can use any text editor, especially it supports the visual separating the tabs from spaces. TSV also supports the write, and TSV works very well in the version control. Plain text format. Before discussing about the plain text format, I will discuss about HTML format and TSV, why these two things are deprecated and why we are preferring plain text format. The plain text format is the easiest to edit and works best in version control system. This is the first one. In practice, nobody seem to use HTML and TSV formats anymore. This is the second option. Different data formats are confusing to the new users. That's why plain text format is coming into the picture. Also, having just one data formats makes easy to enhance parsing and adding new features. These four are the main reasons to prefer plain text format. If you see the plain text format, it's very easy to understand and you can use any editor you want. You can use Eclipse, PyCharm, Sublime Text Editor. And also it supports the default editor, that is for write. That's why people are more comfortable with the plain text format other than HTML format and TSV. Now, let's discuss about history of robot framework. He's the guy, Pekka Clarks, who invented the robot framework in the year of 2005. The first version was developed at Nokia Networks in the year of 2005, and the version 2.0 was released open source software on Jan 24, 2008, and the version 3.0.2 was released on February 7, 2017. Let's discuss robot framework architecture. If you see the below diagram of the robot framework architecture, there are total 5 modules. The first module is for the test data, the robot framework, test libraries, and test tools, and system under test. By seeing this diagram, I will tell you what exactly it is happening as part of this robot framework architecture. The main job of the robot framework is to read and process the data and execute test cases and generate the reports and logs. The core of the robot framework does not know anything about system under test. All interactions with the system under test is handled by various libraries. Libraries themselves rely on application interfaces or low-level test tools to interact with the system under test. This is what happened in this robot framework architecture. Why robot framework? There are many tools are available in outside the market. Then why do we need robot framework again? That we will discuss here in this slide. It is open source. It means you don't have to pay anything to use robot framework and easy to install. You don't have to do so much of configurations to complete the setup. The setup process is very simple and straightforward. And it is a platform independent. Also, any newcomers, they can easily understand this robot framework. To understand this robot framework, they don't need any coding knowledge. Outstanding report system. It will generate 3 reports even for the pass and failed cases. And it also supports keyword-driven and behavior data-driven and the data-driven styles. Let's see uses of the robot framework. If you see this page, these all are the companies they are using robot framework. There are many more companies are using robot framework, but I have listed few companies list here, but there are many more companies that are using robot framework. Thanks for watching. If you really like this video, please give a like, share and subscribe. We'll meet you guys into the next video. Until then, bye. Have a great day.